Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Hi, how are you? Good, I'm fine too. Okay, so today we are going to continue our lesson on 3 subtopics. Recognize fractions of hundreds and decimals, compare decimals, and addition and subtraction of decimals. Why I combine all 3 subtopics today? Because you have learned all these subtopics with Teacher Marlia. Okay, are you ready guys? Okay, do you still remember the fraction of tens and decimals? So, this is the 10 strip, and 1/10 is 1 part out of 10 part. So we call it as 1/10. And when we convert into decimal, it becomes 0.1. 0.1. This is the place value, which are ones is 0 and the place value for tens is 1. In the middle, we have decimal point. Got it? Another example. This is the 10 strip, and then we colored 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 out of 10. For the fraction, we set it as 5/10, while the decimals is 0.5. Repeat after me. 0.5. Good. So, as for year 3, we learn fraction of 100. So, 12/100, when we convert into decimal, it becomes 0.12. 0.12. We didn't set it as 0.12 because 1 is tens and 2 is hundreds. This is the place value for 0.12. Okay, so this is 100 grids. I colored 1 part of 100 and it becomes 1/100. In decimal, we call it as 0.01. Repeat after me. 0.01. We put into the decimal places. There are 2 decimal places which are tens and hundreds. So 0.01. 1 is in the hundreds places because we have 2 decimal place. Another example. 100 grid. I colored 2 part. It become 2/100. And in decimal, it becomes 0.02. See, there are 2 decimal place because we have 2 0. So, 0.02. Understand? Okay, same thing goes to 3/100. We convert into decimal it becomes 0.03. This is the decimal places, which are ones is 0, decimal point. After decimal point is 0 because there is no tens. Tens mean over 10. This one is over 100. So we put into hundreds. 3 is hundreds places. So 0.03. It doesn't matter how you color the grid, the 100 grid, as long as you color part of it. For example, we have 0 over 100. I colored 7 part of 100 grid. Still, it becomes 0.07. Look at the decimal places. Tens is 0 because it's not 7 over 10. Hundreds is 7 because 7 over 100. Okay, look at this 100 grid. I colored some part of it. How many part I color? One row is 10, 20 and 30. So the fraction is 30 over 100. Or we convert into decimal, it becomes 0.30. We transfer into the decimal places table. Ones is 0, decimal point, tens is 3, 0 for hundreds. So we can also write it as 0.3 because in hundreds is 0. So we call it 0.30 or 0.3. Okay, try to understand this 100 grid. 24 out of 100 is good. 24 over 100. And we convert into the decimal, it becomes good. 0.24. We cannot say it as 0.24, but 0.24. Good. Next. Okay, I have love patterns here. I create using my 100 grid. So, still, we can get the fraction of hundreds and decimal even in love pattern. So, there are 50 shaded parts out of 100. So, it becomes 50 over 100. And in decimal, we write it as 0.50 or 0.5. 0.50 or 0.5 only. Okay, now is your turn. Can you create your own types? Don't forget to write in fraction and decimal word. You may use your mathematics exercise book or any paper and draw the 100 grids manually. If you use your mathematics exercise book, you don't need to draw the 100 grids manually because the grids are already there. You just need to make it 100 and draw patterns. So these are the questions: 0.19, 0.22, 0.08, 0.56, 0.6 and 0.98. I'm sure you will love this activity very much. Now, let's move to the next subtopic, that is compare decimal. So this is in your textbook. There are squares of 100 grid and we will compare the decimal using this 100 grid as the last lesson. Look here. For the first 100 grids, I draw one part, that is 0.01. For the second 100 grids, I draw 10 parts, 5 and 5. It becomes 10 out of 100. So it becomes 0.10 or 0.1. Can you see which part is the largest or which part is smaller? Yes, 0.01 is smaller than 0.10. So we compare it as 0.01 is smaller than 0.1 or 0.1 is larger than 0.01. This one is larger than the green one. The green one is smaller than the blue one. Okay, now let's compare using number lines. So these number lines you can find in your textbook also. Look at this number line. We start from 0 and we end on 0.112. Remember, when it going forward, it become larger. When it going backwards, it become smaller. Larger, smaller. So 0.03. 0.03 comes before 0.07. It means 0.03 is smaller than 0.07. How about 0.9 and 0.5? Look, 0.09 comes after 0.5, means 0.09 is larger than 0.05. 0.05. Can you get it? Good. Okay, let's try this comparison. This activity, you need to draw tiles also, like the previous activity. Draw tiles on 100 grids on number lines to show the decimal is larger. For example, 0.1 and 0.11. You may draw 100 grids, or you may draw number lines. And then tell me which one is larger. Explain it in voice note. Send your pictures with the voice note in our Telegram group. For the last part, addition of decimals and subtraction of decimals. For addition and subtraction, we use decimal in most of our daily life routine. We use in measurement such as length, mass, and volume of liquid. So we need to add and subtract the decimals correctly. For this part, I will only touch a bit because you learned the process already. Okay, I want to introduce you with a hammer of decimals. This is we call hammer of decimals. Look here, there are decimal places, which is ones, tens, and hundreds, and we have the decimal point. The decimal point we must put in one line. This is the decimal point. For this question, 0.6 plus 0.37. We place the hammer in a grid and then 0 after the decimal point is 6. There's no numbers in 100, so we put it 0 plus 0 point after decimal point is 3, so 3, 7, and then we add as usual. 0 plus 7 is 7, 6 plus 3 is 9, 0, 0, and 0. So the answer is 0.97. Next question is 0.92 minus 0.16. We put it into the hammer. 0.92 minus 0.16. We arrange the numbers. Make sure what number is after the decimal point. So after the decimal point is 9, after the decimal point is 1. Don't arrange it not in order. Understand? Okay, so we subtract as usual. 2 minus 6, we cannot subtract it, so we need to borrow from tens. 2 become 12, while 9 minus 1, it become 8. 12 minus 6 equal to 6. 8 minus 1 equal to 7. So the answer is 0.76. Understand? Now, can you make your own hammer of decimals and use it to answer this question? Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you and happy learning, guys. Bye. See you next class.